Hi, welcome back to Tammy's Tiny Tots Reborn. Sorry I was away for a few days, but I was not well. And when you don't feel well, you don't want to do much. And I wasn't doing much of anything. A lot of sleeping and resting and watching some YouTube videos, actually, is what I was doing a lot of when I wasn't sleeping. I was watching YouTube videos. And I came across some interesting things that I thought maybe we would discuss today. Even though it's Fashion Friday, we're going to change PJ out of his elf outfit and into just a wintry outfit, or I wouldn't even call it that, PJs, wintry PJs. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about was when I was watching a lot of videos. Here's what I'm changing him into, by the way. It's got snowmen all over it. It's gray with red and white shapes of snowmen on the whole thing. And the cutest part is it has a bum flap at the back. And it is actually an open bum flap, so you can open it. See? Whoops. Here we go. Yeah. Anyway, we're not going to open it. So, while I was laid up sick in bed, not feeling well, and by the way, just so everyone knows, we had a New Year's Eve party with just the people that live in this house. And I ended up sick after a New Year's Eve party. Our whole house ended up sick, and not one of us had gone anywhere, which was really weird. So we had a little cold go through the house. Now everybody's feeling better already. And we're all doing great. So yeah, anyway. So, well, I mean, I'm not 100%, but I'm way better than I was. So, anyway, so it's not COVID, by the way, just so everyone knows. It's not COVID. I just have a sinus cold, which puts a lot of pressure on your head when you have a sinus cold. And I am very, what would you call it? Prone, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Very prone to getting sinus infections, and have gotten them year after year after year. Almost every winter I get at least one sinus infection. If I don't get it in the winter, I get it in the spring. So yeah. Anyway, I was watching quite a few videos on YouTube, and I was noticing that there were some box openings on a couple channels that I follow. And these box openings were from a particular doll company. And I watched the first couple, and I noticed that they were not, like, they had different names than what the sculpt was that I was seeing in the video. So I looked into this company myself, and I noticed that all the dolls they sell are under different names, and they are stolen sculpts. They're sculpts from an artist in our Reborn community, and they are stolen sculpts. Like, they're not legit kits. Anyway, I noticed it on certain channels that I follow, that and I didn't comment or say anything negative to the person, because the person was already people, it was more than one channel, were already getting harassed or bullied, I guess you could say, in regards to the fact that they now have a illegal sculpt on their channel. And I didn't agree with I don't agree with attacking people and calling people names or picking on people for buying these sculpts, these stolen sculpts. I'm not going to attack people for it, but I don't agree with it at all. And I will explain why I don't agree with it. Because in one aspect, it does affect me. The reason I don't agree with it is because it hurts the sculptors of our kits. The person who spends hours and hours and hours sculpting this kit out of clay, turning this kit into, or this blob of clay into this baby that you see in front of you, in a sense. Well, the clay doesn't turn into this baby, but they made this face out of a hunk of clay. It's something I can't do. And if this artist, if her sculpts keep being stolen, and I'm not saying just this artist of Chase, I am not just saying Bonnie Brown, but any artist, if they, sculptor, I should say, if their sculpts are getting stolen, what's the point of continuing to make sculpts? And a lot of sculptors will start to feel that way and won't want to sculpt because they will get stolen. Perfect example was Joanna Kazmierzak, created the Lulu asleep, and she was going to make a Lulu awake, and she sent it to be turned into a vinyl kit, and the kit was stolen before she could even get the vinyl copies back, like the vinyl editions out. So she said, nope, not going to put it out at all now. So if you see an awake Lulu out on the market, it is a stolen kit. It's not legit. And I'm going to change another baby. I have to finish with Chase here. I don't think I'm going to put anything on his head. But he looks super cute. But I'm going to get another baby and change that one as well. But so now we lose out in a vinyl version of Lulu Awake because somebody decided to steal the sculpt instead of it being produced properly. So we lose out, us painters like me, and you collectors like all of you. You lose out in getting to have a Lulu Awake in your collection because she has canceled the kit and isn't going to be producing it now. So we all lose out in a sense, right? And to me, that's where it's not good, That's why it's not good, because it's going to push our sculptors to not want to sculpt in vinyl anymore, because what's the point if their sculpts are just getting stolen? What's their point? What's the whole point of bothering to go through all the work to sculpt the beautiful baby? We got Miss Amber here. But you got this beautiful baby you want to sculpt, and why bother if someone's just going to steal my sculpt? Why should I bother? And some of them might stop sculpting. And then we won't have kits for these, these piracy companies to steal, because there won't be any kits available anymore. They'll be gone. Do we want that? Do we want all the sculptors to stop sculpting? Because that'll be the end result. That is why I'm not going to attack people and say, how dare you buy them, because they have their reason that they bought them and they know what it is. And, after talking to sculptors or hearing sculptors' comments and stuff, maybe they'll understand why these dolls aren't good. I mean, I understand why they're not good. And I won't purchase a illegal sculpt. I won't. Because I don't want to be hurting sculptors. And I also hurt artists like myself, because if there's no kits to paint, because sculptors stop sculpting, I won't be able to make babies anymore. And I'd lose my love and enjoyment, which I absolutely adore. Reborning, I absolutely love it. And it's something I enjoy very, very much. And if there were no more sculpts to make, I'd be very, very sad, and it would affect me too. Um, and then it would affect the collectors after that, because there'd be nothing to collect, because I can't make reborns and nobody can, because no one's sculpting these dolls anymore. I don't know if I'm making sense or not, but it's really hard on the original sculptor to have their stuff stolen. It's just like if you have a bike and, when you were a kid, you left your bike out and someone stole your bike. I mean, I had my bike stolen as a kid, and it was awful. I felt horrible that someone stole something. I had worked hard. I had gone to my part-time job, worked hard to earn the money to buy that bike, and someone stole it, Well, it's the same as these sculpts. They work hard to sculpt these babies, and it's not fair that they get stolen. And then the sculptor doesn't make any money off of these stolen babies. And they deserve to make money for the hard work they put into these babies. They put so much work and hours into getting all this detail on these babies. So that's why I don't support companies like this one particular company. I'm not even going to give its name out there, because I don't want to promote it in any way, shape, or form. But sorry, needed a drink there. But just know that I am totally against these dolls, these stolen dolls. So we're going to put her into this pink sleeper with a penguin on it. It's got snowflakes all over it. And it's got a penguin with earmuffs on the bottom. So I am very much against these these companies that are stealing sculpts from different artists. And I don't think it's right that they can do what they're doing. It's not fair to the sculptors. It's not fair to people like myself as well, because I paint work. I buy my kits, legitimate kits. So I pay, a fair amount for each kit that I purchase, and then I reborn it. And if I can't sell my babies that I reborn because my prices are too high, but my prices are higher because I'm buying a legitimate kit at the proper price. I'm not stealing somebody's kit and making it out of materials that we don't even know what they contain. We also don't know what kind of a factory these dolls come out of, and things like that. And there's so many awful things about it. But the biggest thing is the sculptor deserves to be paid for her hard work, and to have her hard work stolen is so wrong. And supporting companies that steal these artists is not good. And we shouldn't support these companies. These companies should be shut down, and they should be sued for stealing stuff from these hardworking artists. And I don't agree with them, and you will never ever see one on this channel, so don't ever worry. You will never see a stolen sculpt on this channel. Not now, not ever. So that have no worries of. So, but please everyone, don't fall for these stolen sculpts. Don't go and buy one just because, hey, that's a cheap price. I know these dolls are a little more expensive, and if you talk to an artist, I know they would work out a payment plan for you in some way, so you can end up buying and owning one of these. I mean, I would be willing to help anyone out with the payment plan if that's what you wanted to do. I do not do customs, but any one of the babies that I complete, if you're interested in it and it's for sale, like whatever baby's for sale, you're interested in it, I'd be willing to do a payment plan to pay it off, so that you could actually afford to get the doll and not have to resort to going to a company that steals the sculpts from our sculptors who deserve to get paid for their hard work. And I think that is the biggest thing. And so my way of helping to stop people from buying these stolen sculpts is to spread the word that it's not right and that we shouldn't buy them. I'm not sending any digs at anyone. I'm not being mean to anyone. I'm not, none of that. I don't want any of that. I understand if you got scammed and you bought one of these dolls, or you had one given to you, or you, I don't know, but however you came across it, I completely understand. But don't spread the word about the company that you bought the doll from. Don't share their name. Don't spread it. Let's get rid of them instead. And instead, maybe I can encourage other artists to, go out and offer, well, not go out, but offer people that are interested in a payment plan, so they don't have to buy these cheaper dolls because that's all they can afford in one payment, right? If we offer some payment plans that work out good for ourselves and for the person that is interested in buying, maybe then they wouldn't have to resort to buying these cheaper dolls. And we would have, only our legitimate dolls being sold and being in our community. So I hope I don't offend anyone. I wasn't meaning to offend anyone. This was not directed at anyone in particular. I just wanted everyone to know that how I feel about these stolen sculpts. I don't think it's right. I do not have any stolen sculpts in my collection. I do have one baby that is not, it was put together with different limbs than what the head is, but the head is a legitimate Saskia head and the limbs are legitimate. I think they're Sarah limbs. I'm not positive, but they're legitimate limbs. They just happen to be swapped, and the artist who painted it, not the sculptor, but the artist who painted the doll, decided to put the doll together that way, and I purchased it that way. But everything on the doll, the parts are legitimate. They're not, nothing is fake. It was just put together differently, and sometimes a painter artist will do that when they're assembling a baby. They'll use different limbs sometimes. Anyway, all I can say is, please everyone, do not buy these stolen sculpts from this said company, and don't support that. Don't, it's not healthy for our sculptors. And eventually, if it keeps happening, some of our sculptors will stop sculpting, and we will not have sculpts anymore. As well as the fact of that, some sculptors might decide, you know what, I'm just going to sculpt and make the baby a silicone baby, and the prices will get even higher because the only babies that'll be available sculpted by our beautiful, wonderful sculptors will be babies that they can control the production of by it being a silicone and a limited edition silicone amount. That's what they'll end up doing. So that the fact that there's only 14 of them or 10 of them in an edition, and that's it, and there will never be more than that. So if you ever see more than that, and each baby would be marked so that it would be apparent that that was number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, so on and so forth. And that's what'll end up happening, if we push our sculptors too hard. They might decide to do different avenues instead of doing what they love to do, which is to create beautiful babies for all of us to buy, either finished or buy as a kit and reborn to be able to sell to someone finished. So please think of it that way, and support your artists, your artist friends, or even people that aren't your friends that are artists, and support your sculptors by not supporting counterfeit kits and only buying your kits from legitimate dealers like McPherson's. Um, you know, there's other companies too. I don't know all their names. I apologize for not knowing the other companies' names that sell dolls, but I deal or doll kits. I deal with McPherson's, and all of McPherson's kits are legitimate kits, bought and purchased straight from the sculptors themselves. I another way I have bought a kit as well is I bought a kit straight from the sculptor. I have a kit from that I purchased straight from Natalie Scholl. And, there you go. I can't get any more legitimate than that when you're buying it from the sculptor herself. And, yeah, so that's the only way I'll buy my kits is with, as long as they're legitimate kits. So support your sculptors and your artists as well that like to paint them, and don't support companies that steal sculpts, and just say no to these dolls and don't allow them in our community. Well, everyone, I hope I didn't make anyone angry with what I had to say, but this was an important thing, and we all need to hear this and know that that the only way this community is going to not fall apart completely is if we stop supporting the fake counterfeiters and we support our local or our sculptors that work so hard to bring us these beautiful babies. Because if we don't, they're going to stop making these babies for us, because it won't be worth their time or their money. So everyone, stay safe and smile, and share a smile with a friend. Bye-bye.